Has anybody ever said something like this?
Looks like rain.
Yes, has anybody ever said, looks like rain? Why did they say that? Because they looked at the sky. They're judging by the clouds or something in the sky that they think it's going to rain. Well, actually, there are many more things than you think that can be a sign that a rain or a storm is coming. And this book, written by this woman, she's a member of the Cloud Society, that she knows many of the things that people used to go by and go by today when they think they can tell it's going to rain, and most of them have turned out to be true. So I'll read this whimsical book with the pictures, and each picture tells a different sign of that it's going to rain or something. And most of these are true. So, what is the name of this book? Red Sky at Night. Red Sky at Night. Actually, this is in the book. Red Sky at Night, Sailor's Delight. Red Sky in the morning, then there's a warning. I'll read what it says. Sailor take warning or something. But actually, this is really true. If there's a red sky at night, as long as the clouds aren't red, it's a sign that it's going to be good weather. But if it's a red sky in the morning, sailor take warning, a storm is coming. Actually, even Jesus confirmed this sign here 2,000 years ago. And I'll read that later from the New Testament of the Bible. But for now, I will read the many signs of the face of the earth, of the sky, signs when it's going to rain or storm, that people have went by for many, many years. And most of them are true. So here we go. Red Sky at Night. And I just hope, I got this lined up right and my head is out of the way. Here's a cat in the bookcase right over here. And a clock, the clouds on it. Now the cat is examining the book. There's something about cats. Something about cats. Yeah. That are in the book. Okay, here we go. I hope that you can see this little map right here. It's a nice cute little map of a waterfall, woods, a little house, and the sign that says northwest, east, and south. Remember that. It'll be mentioned. There's a whale, there's waves, and this is the beginning of the story. This is the beginning of the story. Long ago, here and far away, people looked for clues in nature to predict the weather. They learned from experience by watching the shapes of the clouds or noticing the behavior of the animals. Now get this, behavior of the animals. I would like to stop that right now and tell about one thing that I saw. There's an island by Japan called Cat Island, and there's lots of cats on the island. Talk about animals being able to tell the weather. there was a tsunami wave coming to that island, which means it could drown many people. And the waves would come over the lower houses and drown people. But they saw a funny thing. The cats started running up the hills. They knew that something was going to happen. So the Japanese people decided that there's some kind of danger. So they followed the cats and they went up the hills. And right after that, here come a big wave. And the cats saved many lives. After that, they started feeding the cats because the cats were the heroes. And they figured that these cats could help them again. The cats multiplied, and now there's more cats than people on the island. And that's why it's called Cat Island. So that's one, for instance, of animals being able to detect the weather. So the wisdom was passed down through sayings like the ones that I'm going to read in this book. And I hope you like the pictures. There's a special way, I'll tell you later, how she did these pictures. Incredible, simply incredible. How weather-wise are you? Might you know a saying or two? Yep, I told you one about the sky being red. Sailor take warning. In the morning, the sky is red at night. Sailor delight. Be no storm on the ocean. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I hope that you see these people looking through the window. They're looking at the sky turning red as the sun sets. And they got a nice little living room with a cuckoo clock. And an old-fashioned stove. And a little bitty bookcase with the family pictures. And again, there is some cats. Look at that. And so here's the saying. I think I read this. Red sky at night, sailor's delight. And here's the next one. Somebody's in the bedroom up there, and it's dark, partly dark. But at the bottom room, the cats are looking out the window. A lot of cats. Mama cat and a lot of baby cats. And I'm sure you see the big owl. So I will read this one. When the dew is on the grass, no rain will come to pass. And at the end of the book, the woman explains whether these are true or not. And she believes most of these sayings are true. And I'll read a few, but I won't bore you with all of them. Let's see. Here's a nice one. Here's a nice one. Here they are. Looks like they're going to go fishing. Evening red and morning gray. Two sure signs of one fine day. That is another sign. Well, here we go. When mist creeps up the hill, fishers, it's time to try your skill. When the mist creeps up the hill. So Dad and the kids are getting ready to go fishing because the mist has crept up the hill. So it's time to try your skill. No weather is ill if the wind be still. There's another saying. Oh boy, these are funny. If woolly fleeces are in the sky, be sure the day is fine and dry. Here's another one. And they're in the boat again. When ladybugs swarm, expect a day that's warm. This must be for up north a little bit. Oh, this is a beautiful picture. I hope you can see this good, because it's like seeing through under the water and above the water. Very clear under the water. And here's a boat above the water. And here's some hills and houses. And there's a whale. And there's a bird. And here it is. When the wind is from the west, then the fishes bite the best. I will repeat, when the wind is from the west, that's this way, then the fishes will bite the best. I hope you see this. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Take it back further. Here we go. Yellow streaks in a sunset sky. Wind and day-long rain are nigh. Another sign of rain. Here's another picture. Frogs will call before the rain, but in the sun are quiet again. And looks like the two children are floating in the water. They went for a swim, perhaps from the boat that they were in. I tried not to, I used to be good at rhyming. Accidental rhyming. I hope you can see this. They're deciding to stay at night outside. And so the father has a blanket and they got a fire going and they're roasting a marshmallow. His kids are inside the blanket with him. Whether it's cold or whether it's hot, we shall have weather or not. And don't that sound like a Dr. Seuss saying? And here's a really good one. You see the owl, the moon? There's a ring around the moon. And here's the saying. Ring around the moon, rain will come soon. Oh boy. In fact, I saw one of these signs today. I'll tell you later. Oh, this is one of the most beautiful pictures that there is. Gaze at that beautiful, beautiful pink orange drawing or whatever it is. Now the kids are playing leapfrog and there's 3 boats in the water. And here's the saying. Red sky in the morning, sailor take warning. Remember when I said red sky at night, sailor's delight? Jesus also mentioned these 2 signs, this one and the other one. 2,000 years ago. Yes, they have been able to predict the weather this way for a long time. Now I think I started with these 2 pictures here. Trout jump high when rain is nigh. Catching a dragonfly, another rhyme. Hear the whistle of the train. 'Tis a sign it's going to rain if you hear the whistle of a train. Actually, she explains that if the weather is right, that the sound of rain or something will sound like a train. It's not a train, but it'll sound like a train. I don't know why she said it here. That's not what she said at the end of the book. She said it makes a train sound. Here's more cats. And there they are, still in the boat. Wind of the daytime wrestle and fight, longer and stronger than those at the night. There's another saying. Usually the wind blows more in the daytime, but not always. Here's some more. Wind from the east is neither good for man nor beast. And she explains that about the eastern wind. Wind from the east is neither good for man nor beast. Now here's another one. Big boat, little boat. Little ships must keep to shore. Larger ships may venture more. That is, when it's raining or storming a little bit, the bigger boat can hold up better. That's true, of course. Now, oh, this is so beautiful. I hope you can see this. It's like a long and winding road to heaven or something. It's just like going through this beautiful, beautiful place of just sheer beauty with seagulls flying, and sky is beautiful. And here is the saying: if seabirds fly to land, there truly is a storm at hand. I'll try to remember to read her explanation of that. Here's another one. When clouds appear like rocks and towers, the earth is refreshed with frequent showers. I will repeat, when clouds appear like rocks and towers, the earth is refreshed with frequent showers. Now she explains in the back that these are clouds that are called cumulus something or other. It was also in the movie by Disney called Up. Cumulus nimbus. But you have to see the clouds getting dark, and you have to hear the thunder. I saw kind of some cumulus nimbus today, and I was on my bicycle wondering whether I should go home at night. Although the clouds got a little dark and they started getting closer, and although I saw lightning, I never did hear thunder. And she says, if the clouds get dark and you hear the thunder. So I rode the bike and didn't get wet. Later on it sprinkled a little bit. Here's the next one. Cats leap about and chase their tails to warn of thunderstorms and gales. Yeah, remember I told you about Cat Island? They could tell that that big wave was coming. Their ears are, how the Japanese thought is because the cat's ears are real sensitive and they can hear good, and that they could hear the wave coming. That could possibly be true. Now they're going back home. When the forest murmurs and the mountain roars, close the windows and shut the doors. They're running back to the house because it's fixing to rain. And here they are in the living room again. The more rain, the more rest. Fair weather's not always the best. That's a good one. She explained about that one is that some people had to work from sunrise to sunset, and when it rained they didn't have to work. So that meant the more the rain, the more the rest. It was a good break for those that had to work such long hours. Even today, some people have to stop work and they get a break when the rain comes. Now here we are. After the rain is a rainbow. And it says, now that you know a saying or two, can you predict what the weather will do? There goes the hoot owl and the screech owl, whatever that is. So here we are. We are toward the end of the book. Here is where she explains. I'll read a few so you'll know what she said about these predictions of coming rain or fair weather. And I set this for high definition. It means if it's too long, it'll take a long time to get it on the internet. Okay, her explanation for red sky at night, sailor's delight. True, in temperature zones in some parts of the world, the saying goes, red sky at night, shepherd's delight. But whether you are on the sea or in the meadow, red skies, but not red clouds, at sunset means there is calm air in the western sky. By the next morning, that nice weather should be right overhead, which means no bad weather and is good for the sailor. Okay, let's see, here's another one. When the mist creeps up the hill, fishes, it's time to try your skill. Fishers, that is. Usually true. Mist rise when there's warm air and sunshine, so it's a perfect time to go fishing. Let's find another one. Oh, let's see. I gotta read one of these. When the wind is from the west, then the fishes bite the best. Somewhat true. Western winds bring the fairest weather, so it may be the nicest time to be out in a boat. Another version of this saying goes, the wind in the west suits everyone the best. Later on, she said a lot of times the storms come from the east. Okay. Yellow streaks in a sunset sky, wind and day-long rain are nigh. True. Citrus clouds like yellow streaks at sunset. The Latin name for these clouds mean wispy hair, which is just what they look like. These clouds are a sign of changing weather nigh. And this saying means coming soon. Now that was the picture where you had the green looking, greenish yellow clouds. That's something I've never seen. Frogs will call before the rain, but in the sun are quiet again. This is questionable. While animal behavior can be observed, they are hard to prove. One explanation for hearing loud croaks before the rain, the croaks sounds louder because sound travels better in humid air. Well, I wouldn't say that. I would say what I've observed and almost everybody else observed. I don't know about this saying about the frogs croaking when it's beginning to rain. I always hear the frogs croaking after the rain, don't you? When it's rained and it's stopped, they will croak all night because frogs like wet places. So this one is questionable about croaking before it rains. Here's another one of her explanation. Whether it's cold or whether it's hot, we should have weather, whether or not. The Dr. Seuss one. That's true that we depend on. Weather is always changing from day to day and throughout the year. The air that surrounds our earth is always being heated or cooled, resulting in wind, clouds, precipitation, such as rain, hail, snow, and sleet. And that's what she said about that one. I say it sounds like Dr. Seuss. Now this one, I got to point out this one if I don't point out none of the rest ones. It's pretty neat. Ring around the moon, rain will come soon. Usually true. So look out for the moon. A halo or ring around the moon appears when there are cirrostratus clouds, which are very high clouds made of ice crystals. They are a sign that the weather is changing and there might be rain coming. Remember, ring around the moon, rain is going to come soon. It'd be hard to remember these, won't it? Yeah. Yeah, remember, a monkey in the window is better than two in the bush. That's got nothing to do with the rain. Okay, let's see. They had a lot of cats in the window. Trout jump high when the rain is nigh. Remember that big fish jumping up in the air? This woman says this is true. When there is low air pressure, it usually spells rain. Before the rain comes, insects fly low looking for cover. Minnows, on the other hand, come to the surface of the water. following the rising gas bubbles that have been released by the low air pressure. If you are out before the rain, you might see fish jumping to catch the low-flying insects or in pursuit of the minnows. That's very interesting that the insects fly low if a rain is coming. I know one thing, I saw a phenomenon that some of you may never see in your life, but I just happened to see it because I used to like to go to the lake a lot, and I would sit in there and watch the sunset over the lake, and I'd be in my bathing suit, and sometimes the sky would turn pink and it would reflect off the water, and the water in the lake would be still, and the whole top of the lake would be a beautiful pink. But one time, pertaining to insects flying low because it's going to rain, there's another reason they fly low, and that is when the mayflies come at the time of May, and they fly, all of them together in one direction. I was sitting in that lake, and suddenly I saw thousands and thousands of something that looked like huge mosquitoes, and they were all flying by me, thousands of them, and they were an inch away from the lake, and they were flying to the other side of the lake. I thought, man, my goose is cooked. I thought, these insects are gonna bite the daylights out of me, and not a one of them bit me. Later on, somebody told me they were mayflies. Now that was quite a phenomenon, if you ask me, that I've ever seen about insects. Okay, I got it in this pretty soon. I can't read all of these. Let me see if I see another one that's good. If seabirds fly to land, there's truly a storm at hand. True, seabirds are very sensitive to change in temperature and air pressure. Now, these seabirds are probably seagulls. By instinct, they know when a storm is coming. The sea can be quiet, quite nasty when the weather turns. Oh yeah, have you ever looked at the ocean? The sea looks pretty nasty during a rainstorm. So seabirds will come to shore to seek shelter. There's also another thing. If the ocean gets too cold, the seagulls will fly inland 50, 60, 80 miles away from shore, because every year the seagulls would come to the auto auction I worked and would stay there for a month or so, flying around the auto auction because it was too cold at the ocean. So that's another sign that the seagulls give. Now I guess about, let's see, maybe one more. Wait a minute. This is the last one I want to read. When clouds appear like rocks and towers, the earth is refreshed with frequent showers. Now, I told you earlier about nimulus, cumulus clouds can cause rain. That is if you hear thunder and the clouds get dark and you see lightning. So here's what she says about when the clouds appear like rocks and towers and the earth is going to get some showers. High towering clouds are called cumulus nimbus. See, that's what I told you. Cumulus nimbus clouds. Their name means heaping storm clouds in Latin. If these clouds darken and you hear thunder, head for cover. Now, I saw some today and they got dark, but I didn't hear thunder and it didn't rain. And I had already looked at this book, and so I remembered that about the cumulus nimbus cloud, and I thought, well, I didn't hear thunder, so maybe it won't rain. And it was true. It did not rain. Even though it was black, it was scary. I saw lightning, but I did not hear the lightning, and it did not rain. So, back to the one about when the sun sets red. Then of course, it means there's going to be good weather, and when the skies are red. When the skies are red in the morning, sailor take warning. Now, I don't know if I can find this, but I can read you to show these signs.